Gray Trace, Logan Marshall-Green, lives with his wife Asha, Melanie Vallejo, in a home where almost everything is controlled by technology. He's a mechanic and she works for a tech company called Cobalt. Gray and Asha try to get intimate since their car drives itself. However, the car takes a detour through Gray's old neighborhood as it appears that it has been hacked. They are pulled out by 4 goons, led by Fisk. Benedict Hardy. Gray is left a quadriplegic. He spends a long time at the hospital as his mother Pamela, Linda Cropper, tries to help him adjust. Gray also meets Detective Cortez, Betty Gabriel, who is working on the case. Gray is later visited by Iran, who offers him a chance to walk again if Gray allows him to put stem in his back. Gray doesn't like the idea until Iran suggests that Asha would have wanted him to walking again. Gray goes through with the procedure, even signing a non-disclosure agreement to ensure that he will not tell anybody about stem. Sure enough, he regains motor functions and is able to walk again. Gray finds Cirque's house and breaks in. Stem tells Gray to look through the messages on Cirque's computer table, with multiple references to a bar from Gray's old neighborhood called Old Dog. Cirque returns home and quickly finds Gray. He attacks Gray until he allows Stem permission to take full control. Iran meets with Gray after monitoring Stem's activity. He knows that Gray killed Cirque, but Gray tells him he never mentioned that Stem could talk to him. Iran orders Gray not to pursue anyone else. Cortez reviews more drone footage after Cirque's body is inspected at the morgue. She sees Gray rolling by in his wheelchair. She pays him a visit to ask questions about what he was doing there. Gray, going back in the wheelchair, makes up a story. Gray visits Old Dog in his wheelchair and asks the bar if anybody associated with his wife's murder would come forward. One man, Tolan, Christopher Kirby, steps up and admits he was there. He wheels Gray to a back room where he and a couple other goons try to harm Gray, until Stem takes over and allows Gray to beat the crap out of them. Fisk uses memory footage from a camera in Tolan's eye to see Gray repeating the address Stem gave him. He then sneezes and sends out little microbots that go up the bartender's nose and slowly destroy him internally. Gray finds the hacker's apartment as he starts to lose motor functions. Jamie uses a code that Stem told Gray to write on his arm and manages to reboot him. However, she sees Fisk and his buddy Jeffrey show up on the security cams, so Jamie and her hacker buddies leave before Stem can reboot. Gray returns home where Pamela sees him walking. He tells her the truth but asks her to keep it a secret. Cortez then shows up at the house to ask more questions. Gray makes up another story that he was going around trying to be a hero but got jumped by a guy who stole his wheelchair. Gray finds Fisk in his home and fights him. Fisk reveals that he was hired to ambush him, but Gray was the sole target. Gray taunts Fisk upon learning that Cirque was his brother, bragging about killing him. Gray goes to Iran's lab to confront him, believing he tried to have Gray crippled just to try Stem out on someone. Iran reveals that he was not behind the murder plot, but it was always Stem who was controlling him. Stem grew to be too intelligent, and he wanted a body of his own, so he manipulated Iran into organizing everything to get Gray's body. Gray wakes up in a hospital bed. To his surprise, he finds Asha there, happy that he is awake. It appears as though he woke up from a coma as a result of the car accident. However, this is not real. Gray's mind has broken down, allowing Stem to completely take control of his body and mind.